So far, I think this is my favorite episode of Barakamon. To see how much meaning this episode had, to see the character development of Honda, and getting to see all the different characters and the development they've actually went through in this series is really shocking. It's hard to believe how Barakamon, this series that I thought was just going to be a comedy, turned out to have so much life lessons, moral lessons, different things like that. I mean, this episode was a prime example that Barakamon is more than it appears. It's more than it appears to be just a comedy series. It actually has a lot of drama in it, slice of life, and great elements to make a good series. Like, the entire beginning part where Honda makes up for his mistakes. He meets the director. He meets the person he punched at the beginning of this series that caused all the chain of events in this series. To see Honda, how he actually understands what he did wrong by hitting the director, it was so sad. For instance, he's like, I hit this poor old man that has back issues, has a cane, he's like this, and I actually hit him. How bad of a person must I be? That was a very, very sad moment, and it shows you how far he's come to realize these mistakes and actually try to work past him. When he bows and, asks for forgiveness, that was a really great moment for character development for Honda, because at the beginning of the series, and a couple episodes back, he would have never have done something like that. To see his character actually do that just shows you how far he has come. And it's not just that. There's a lot of different things in this episode you can get towards character development, like how much the island inhabitants mean to Honda Sensei for the course of the series, like how he remembers the title of all the names of everybody he loves, but the last job he was given was to write everybody's name down on this plaque, if we remember. It was like an episode or two back. And so, seeing how he tries to do that in this episode, and he actually finishes it, was really sweet. But we don't get to see the actual calligraphy in this episode. We don't get to see what his writing looked like, but I'm willing to bet it's going to have a lot of emotions pouring out of the writing. I'm just going to say, there's a lot of funny elements in this episode that definitely had me laughing too. Besides all the drama and all, slice of life elements that really had you thinking about moral values, there was some good comedy elements in this episode that made it balanced. There was enough balance between drama and awesome sauce of epic comedy. Like the ending with Miwa, when you get to see how she acts when she loses and gets a silver, I'm like, oh my god, that is so great. It was so funny because she acts just like Honda Sensei did multiple episodes back. She has the exact same attitude. She's like, there's a big difference between first and second place. I'm like, oh my god, that's just like Honda Sensei. And the way she was sitting in the corner, that was Honda. That was completely Honda, the way she acted. So, I guess teacher like student, pretty much. Now I want to discuss something real quick. We get to see Honda's father and mother in this episode. Their face is technically finally revealed. And, Honda's mother reminds me a lot of Honda. For instance, it seems like Honda has a lot of his traits from his mother. I mean, the way it's like, oh my god, bondage? I broke a gut right there. I busted a gut so bad when I saw just bondage around Kawafuji and all that. And we get to see how the mother misunderstands this. Like, my son, he's became rotten. I'm like, oh my god, that's just too freaking good. And so, getting to see the way she reacted reminded me so much of Honda, and now I see where he gets it from, the way she acts. So, for the most part, this episode was entertaining and enjoyable, but there's one thing that actually shocked me about this episode. I expected Naru to tell Honda to come back since she has that card, but she technically didn't. From what we can get from this episode, is that Honda Sensei is going to be coming back to the island no matter what, after, his little contest, his competition. So, that's the big thing we gotta wonder right now. I mean, was that card going to be the main event that was going to cause Honda to come back, or was that just there and that tricked us all? I just have a big question for that. Anyways, this episode was great. It was grand. By far my favorite episode of Barakamon so far, and it sucks that this series is going to be ending very soon. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.